Hello, lovely learners, and welcome to another episode of Lauren's Life Skills. Today we are going to be learning the basic functions of a sewing machine. Now, keep in mind that I have a very specific sewing machine, so I'm going to try to show you things that, while they are features on all machines, they may look differently on yours, but the basic principle is the same. So keep that in mind, and I will point out the places where it might be different. But yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so here's my machine. I have a Bernina Artista 180. Again, this is kind of a specific machine, so not everyone's is computerized like you'll see that mine is, but again, same principles apply. So first things first, we've got to turn this on. So the button is usually on the side over here. Turn that on. Oh, my phone is tilting. Right there we've got that's the power cord, and then I've got the pedal plugged in. You can see on mine there's this little diagram of the things you can plug it into. So here's what the screen looks like when it comes up. So let's first talk about stitches. Mine has a lot of fancy stitches. The main one that you're gonna need, because this is like a beginner tutorial, is the straight stitch, which is already selected on mine. So that is simple, easy. If you're looking for more reinforcement, you might need to use a zigzag stitch, but again, that's just number 2. You shouldn't really need to hunt through everything. So then over here, the controls we have, this is for change. These are all changing threads and doing things. Honestly, I don't even use most of these buttons. Okay, so the ones that I do really use are these knobs. This one is stitch width, so you can see that's changing up here. That's more for like zigzags and stuff. You can see in the picture even that it's a zigzag. This one right here is the one that I use the most often. It's for stitch length, so you can see this bar right here is going up or down. Depending on like how technologically advanced your machine is, this may be like a clicker button like I have for my needle over. It may look like this. So this changes. I'm gonna hit the button and I'll show you down here what that does. So it moves the needle over. I don't know if you can see it moving. I'll move it back here. And you change that, it'll change itself if you're doing a diagonal stitch, or if you're trying to change your seam allowance, but like the fabric is weird or something. Again, for beginning stuff, you probably shouldn't need to do too much of that. And then these other buttons really, the only other one that matters right now is clear, because I just messed up all of the settings on this machine. So if I hit clear, this went back to its original height, and I'm gonna move the needle over again so you can see what happens when I hit clear. So I've moved it all the way over, I hit clear, and it just went back to the center. So that's pretty cool. While we're down here, this is a basic sewing foot. I'm gonna take it off so you can see. So it's pretty normal. I like the clear plastic one because I can see what's happening. There are also pure solid metal ones. For Bernina, this is a 34 foot. So I like that. I'm using a universal needle. And I don't know if you just caught that. To get this off of here, there's a little latch back here. And then to get it back on, you put it on this cone and move the latch down. So then to actually sew, the next thing you're gonna need to know is how to thread the machine. So I'm gonna set you guys up to see that, and then I will show you. All right, so there's not really a great place to set y'all, so I'm gonna try to show you this one-handed. So the first thing is you need your thread. I was taught to always put the barcode on this side. I don't know why, but I just always do that now. So I do that, and then the little holder thing so it doesn't come flying off. Okay, then you're gonna take this thread and you're gonna go under that hook right there. And again, this may vary slightly for machines, but this is the basic threading procedure for most modern machines. All right, so I left it where we were coming, so you come up and over here and you go under this hook here. Now, I'm going to move you so you can see what I'm about to tell you. There's this little metal bar right here. You have to hook the thread in this for any sewing to get done. So you have to go back, and there are arrows on the machine right here. I don't know if you can see it. right there that show you how to do this, but you go straight back and then pull forward on the other side of this. And now the thread is through that hole, if you can see that. So now you go down again, and there's a hook right in the front. It's like a dark spot on the camera right here. Okay, now mine has, not all machines have this. I have this other little hook right here. Go behind that buckle. And now it's time to thread the needles. Okay, so let me thread this. As you may remember me saying from my button video, it helps to lick the thread to get it through. And now, this actually, once you learn this, it goes really, really fast. Oh, I twisted it around the needle. It's just the process of learning it. So I think you all know how to thread a needle. Then you thread it down through a hole in the foot and you're ready. Except for, did you know you need a second amount of thread? What I have open here is this little door down here. It's under the foot and the main sewing surface. This is where the bobbin lives. So it's this little guy. He actually comes out of this case thing. Again, variations of these, but this is how mine look. And I'm gonna show you how to thread these. First things first, this goes right here. Then, sorry to tell you, if your machine was already threaded, you do have to unthread it for this process. Oh, I guess you don't have to totally, but you need to unthread it. What we are gonna do, we're gonna go back under the starting hook, and if I can get it, I'm gonna go around this knob right here twice. Okay, and then I'm gonna thread it through the bobbin. Okay, so to thread it through the bobbin, take the end, go through any of these holes in the bobbin. Whoa, without fumbling it, probably. Okay, you see it's going through one of those holes now. Again, I have accidentally pulled off quite a bit of thread. Okay, small technical difficulties. I'm gonna film this for a second time. So we've got it threaded, we've got it on there. Some machines have an automatic bobbin winder. Mine does not. So first you put this down. On the ones with an automatic, as soon as you put this down, it will start winding it. Mine, I have to press the pedal. So I'm gonna do that. One thing to note before I start, hold on to this thread with your hand, okay? Don't let go of it until I tell you to. Okay, so let's do. Okay, so you let it get established on there, and then we're gonna take this thread that we were holding, and we're going to cut it as close as we can to the bobbin. If you do not do this, this thread that I just cut off will get all tangled and mess up your bobbin. So now we're actually going to wind it. I'm not going to wind mine all the way because I'm not using this thread for anything, so I don't want to waste it, but I'm going to show you for just a second. You can decide based on the size of your project how much you want. If you're sewing like a small tear in a shirt, you probably don't need very much. If you're doing a whole project, you're gonna need probably a full bobbin. So I'm just gonna show you. So it just looks like that. When you're done, undo that, take this off. Again, guys, I actually am very good at this. I've been sewing for 11 years. It's just one-handed, and with the camera and stuff, makes it a little difficult. So we've got this, and then I'm gonna move over here to show you what to do with it now. Okay, so now that you've got your bobbin ready, you're gonna put it in here, but it has to be going clockwise. So pull on the thread a little bit to see which direction it's going. Mine is going counterclockwise, so I'm gonna take it out and turn it upside down. Now it's going clockwise. Okay, so then there's a slit in the side of this thing. So you're gonna go into that, go under this hook, like that. And see, okay, going clockwise. All right, now you see this little latch. That's how we're gonna put it into the machine. So let's go see that. That's also how you get it out of the machine, if you were wondering. Okay, so pull the latch straight back, go straight into that hole, You can see it's secure in there. Okay, now I'm gonna rethread my machine for y'all so I can show you the last step to be ready before you can sew anything. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is something that my teacher always called going fishing. So we've got the bobbin thread down here and the upper thread up here, and we want the bobbin thread to be up here with everything. So what this requires, I can't show you this all at one time. So this knob over here on the side, we're gonna turn that towards ourselves. Let me show you what happens. Hold the upper thread in your left hand pretty taut, like don't pull it so there's more thread coming out, but just enough that there's a little bit of tension. Roll that knob towards you like I just said. And when the needle is all the way back in the upright position, you can check. You can use anything that you want really. Sometimes I use scissors or a seam ripper. I'm using this thing right now. Hook that thread that just went down there. You should get a loop. And now both threads are up top and we can close the bobbin door. I'm gonna trim these to be the same length. My machine does have on the side this little thread cutter, which I do use when I'm working on stuff, but sometimes scissors are just easier. Anyway, the fishing maneuver, it might take you a couple of tries to get right. It almost always takes me 3 or 4 tries. I don't know how I got lucky this time. So yeah, oh, also if you're wondering why there's tape on here, there is absolutely nothing wrong with it. I wanted you guys to be able to see all the stuff on the plate because it is important. I think you can see up here is the measurements that I know. There's a 1/4, a 5/8, and a 1 inch. That's how far from the needle. I'm not sure why did I not clear it? Anyway, that is gonna be your seam allowance, how much distance there is between the thread that you sew and the edge of your fabric. So I use this to mark it because sometimes it's hard to focus. You see there's a lot of lines here. So 5/8 is the most common seam allowance, so I put the piece of tape there to follow along when I'm sewing. If you'd like to see that, let me know in the comments down below if you'd like to see me actually sew something now. So basically the things that you need to know from this video are how to thread the machine, how to thread the bobbin, how to turn the machine on, and how to pick a stitch. Otherwise, I think you're good to go to start doing some basic sewing projects. So good luck, and I hope that you will consider subscribing to come learn about life with me. Thanks, y'all. Bye.